Hi guys, this is a top moments video for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 5, Episode 1. But before we get to the top moments, if you've been to this channel or maybe you're new to the content, feel free to leave a comment, and subscribe. So when I normally do recap videos of shows, I like to give you the characters and let you know what they're doing in the scene. And sometimes I will go in depth on like maybe their conversations and all that stuff. But for some shows that I will review on this page, I will just do the top moments, pretty much give like a rundown of what happened in the episode just to keep you up to speed. Only because, of the nature of the show, so maybe it has a lot of profanity or things like that. So for Raising Kanan, I decided to do the top moments, and like always, I will try to go from the least impactful or least favorite to the most impactful or most favorite. And then at the end, if I have any observations or theories or anything like that, I will share those at the end of the video. So without further ado, let me tell you what these characters have been up to. So we have Kanan. He's sitting with his guys and they want to know, when they're going to get back to work. And they let him know that Breeze is pretty much, getting guys and, giving them jobs. And Kanan wants the guys to give him a couple of days, to see what he can come up with. And then we have Unique. He has, been going around gathering information on where Parnessa and Jerome can be, where Lou was actually holding them. And so they end up finding out the information and they go there and they save Parnessa and Jerome. And Breeze, he had a meeting with his aunt and uncle, Snaps and Pops. And they want him to work with Kanan. And he's okay with that, but they also want him to work with Unique. And he wants to know why he has to work with Unique. I don't think he really likes him that much. But he's okay with Kanan because he sees something in him. And they tell him, that they want him to work with Unique because he has, a street team and all of that already set up. So, he agrees. And then we have a moment where Kanan, it actually picks up from last season's cliffhanger. And Kanan is trying to off-rock. And the security comes in to try to stop him. And Lou comes in and he stops the security guard. But in that moment, Kanan turns and his piece goes off and he actually hits Lou. And so Lou ends up, dying in this moment. And then Rock tells Kanan to leave. And her and the security guard, they clean up, the scene. And then they drop Lou off for him to be found. And Rock tells the security guard that, he can't tell anybody about it. And so when he gets out of the car, she calls him back and then she ends up, taking him out as well. So we finally get Marvin. He's at the house and he's there with Juke. And Juke wants to know if he's heard from Lou because she's been calling him and she can't get in touch with him. And so then the police come to the house and they want to know if Marvin can actually come down to the police station. So he goes there and he identifies Lou's body. So when he comes back to the car, he really didn't say anything to Juke. He just starts crying and breaking down. And so she knows at that moment. So Juke and Kanan, they have this conversation about Lou. And pretty much she's in shock, but Kanan is still like no emotion or anything like that. So, she's looking a little weird at him when it comes to that, but, she's not, I guess, putting two and two together to know that he had anything to do with it. And then we also have a conversation with Marvin and Rock. And he's breaking down and he's talking about, Lou and everything. And then he wonders why Rock is not, taking it hard. And then she tells him that, people react to certain things differently. You can't really, tell her how to grieve. And so we get to Lou's memorial, and Marvin, first the pastor is talking, and then Marvin gets up to talk, and he's really upset. And he talks about how he wants to go out and get the person that did this and all of that. And so even in the memorial service, we see Kanan, he has no emotion. So I don't know how that's going to end up. And then we get Kanan, he goes with Breeze. He goes to meet with Breeze. And we see Breeze, having this setup where there are guys fighting each other. And then one actually ends up, beating up the other one. But Breeze pretty much tells him, you have to finish the job. And if you don't finish the job, we're going to finish you. And so in this moment, Kanan sees, that Breeze is this heartless, person. And then we have a meeting with Unique and Breeze. And Unique, you could tell that he's really not into, dealing with Breeze at first, but they end up coming to, some type of agreement. But Unique tells Breeze that, Lou has passed away, and he feels like that Rock and all of them will be coming for him. And he pretty much says that won't be a problem because, Kanan is working with them as well, and Kanan is not upset. So that's pretty much your top moments for this episode. I do have some observations. I felt like there would be, like a lot of people getting taken off this show during this season. But I didn't know that we were going to get Lou taken off on the first episode in the first few minutes. I thought maybe we would get to maybe episode 2 or 3, and then we would start maybe with characters that weren't the stars of the show. And to me, that was really shocking to have that happen so quick. And but I mean, I get it because it puts Marvin in this space of trying to get revenge, and I guess that's what's going to be his downfall in the rest of this season. So I mean, I guess I get it in that sense, but I wasn't expecting it so soon. And I'm kind of heartbroken because I actually like the character, so I didn't want him to be gone so quickly. So I don't know, maybe we'll get some flashbacks or something throughout the season to keep the character involved in the rest of the episodes, since this is the final season. Also, I was wondering, like, do you think that Rock should have just included Marvin in the whole situation instead of allowing him to think that somebody else did something to Lou? Like, should she just have told him that Kanan did it on accident because that's actually the truth? Or is it best that she, took this approach? I kind of feel like she should have just told him, and I think he would have been upset, but I don't know if it would have been as bad, as it's probably going to be, because he feels like it's all the these different people. So I think he's gonna go on this rampage of trying to find out who did this to Lou. And I don't know. I feel like she should have maybe included him in that early on, because like I said, it was an accident. And also Kanan is really, heartless. Well, he doesn't have any emotions behind, Lou's death. And I'm wondering, will this continue throughout the season, or will we get moments where he actually, breaks down because it finally hits him? Or is this just a situation where he's gone, at this point? Because he was willing to take his mom out. And then we know from the OG Power that he actually took his son out and his cousin. So is this the moment where it's just like nobody in the family matters for him? Or will we see, him actually have some emotion still about what he did to his uncle? Also, the scene where Unique says goodbye to Parnessa and Jerome. We see him telling Jerome that he's going to see him again. Do you think that was, set up because, the way the child looked at him, was it set up that way because, this may be that may be the last time he actually saw him? Because I feel like Breeze is, going to take Unique out, and I don't know if it's going to be that long. Like, it may be a couple episodes, and we'll probably see Breeze take him out. That's pretty much all I have for this episode. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thanks for watching this Raising Kanan Top Moments video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.